And then that is Coach K. She put up with me because I put up with her because it's a two-way
You hear me
street.
now? I
It's a
can.
two-way street. You can't hear me? Uh-oh, she went in and out. She froze on me. All right, she'll be back here in a second. But I'm watching her. She just like stuck.
Wanda, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Can you
I
hear
can't
me?
hear you. I can't hear you.
You can't hear me. Well, why not? You meant to log in and log out back in again.
No,
Can you hear me now?
I can. I
Oh,
can. I
all right.
can.
I just playing that song by Babyface, My Kind of Girl, and I said, think about My Kind of Girl. There she is. She got to put up with me all this time. But I got put up with her too. Because y'all don't know half the stuff I go through. Just half. If you only knew half that I go through, they say, why are you still sane? I said, because the women around me make sure that I am sane, even though they're insane in the membrane. I'm just kidding.
Well, I think that could be matter of opinion,
Yeah,
sir.
I know. But what I was saying earlier, that we were talking about how people come up to you and say some of the craziest things. Like one of them told me I was an overachiever. I said, well, that makes you an underachiever. Then one came up and told me I wouldn't do what you're doing. I said, but you're not me. And then they look at you funny and say, what you just say? What did you just say? You know, you got to counteract these people before they get going. Because if you counteract them and stop them right then and there, they don't know what else to say.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you, Ron. The client I just got off with, she often says stuff like that. Man, when someone says, "I don't know what y'all have or what y'all give off," I don't get those type of problems. People don't come up to me saying nothing crazy because I don't know if they recognize crazy and just don't go there.
Ooh.
However, I really don't. I it's very rare that I get someone to just say something out the way for the most part. You know what I mean? I don't have those type of issues.
Well,
I don't put up with it either.
I run across a lot of different people out there, and some of them, they really want to form an opinion on you and force their opinion down your throat, even if they're wrong. And so I just look at them funny. Every once in a while, I may say something. Now I'm at the point in my life that, whatever. I don't say anything anymore. I just leave it alone.
I don't care about half of the stuff that people say to me. Just being honest. When sometimes people just want to talk.
Yeah.
Sometimes people need to be heard. You know, I mean, depending on which side of the coin you get me on. You may
Ooh.
get me on the side where I'll while you're going through your woe is me or whatever you got going on. Maybe you want to brag and boast and whatever,
Yeah.
whatever it is. You may get the remember I'm a Gemini. You may get the side of me. It's like, and even though I'm probably, like you said, I may or may not be listening. Just being honest. However, you may get that side that will entertain those things. Then you'll get the other side. Now, the other side has definitely toned down quite a bit. Now, the new side will just walk away. I mean, sometimes I don't even say, my line is, yeah, I'm done with this. And I walk off.
Yeah. And, and,
you
and,
know,
and then they
I'm over
watching. Then they watching you on your backside walking away. Say, I can't believe you walked away from me. I can't believe you said what you said.
it. But
Some.
you're saying it, and
Yeah.
I don't know it, and I don't care because I'm walking away.
Yeah. So
Just saying.
let me tell you what happened to me this weekend.
Hmm.
Guess who showed up at Chicago Bike?
Ooh.
Tammy.
Mm-hmm.
Our girl Tammy. I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't make the ceremony for when he was giving out
Mm,
certificates and stuff. I didn't make
mhm,
because I told her I had other things going on. She made a
mhm.
point to come over there to give me my certificate saying this appreciation for what you did for Cibolo. Took a picture of me. I did not know she was going to put that on Facebook. So
Well,
when I
that's
seen it on Facebook, I said, "Oh my God," and everything. And and I'm gonna say this to everybody: if you think nobody's watching, somebody is always watching. And and uh
true statement, Ron.
and I thank her for that, for everything that's going on. Like with you, Coach K, when you said one time that you were blown away that somebody had on your shirt, you went up to them. And
Mhm.
the unexpected sometimes the best expected thing that you get.
It
And
is.
and that makes you feel so good that somebody took that time out to care about you and do things for you.
It does. It really does. Like you said, it and especially, it's hard out here in these entrepreneurial streets, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like you said, sometimes, it's ups and downs and, you know, um, just as everybody is, seeing now, like you said, shoot, you think it affects you, not getting your check, but again, that affects other people. That affects this person. So, when things like this happen, like, as you said, as an entrepreneur, you're like, whoa, like I was saying to Tammy, I said, got to get ahead of it because you
Mm-hmm.
don't want to be behind it, right? So
Right.
I definitely you agree. I agree. It when you see your vision, you're just doing what you're doing, and you get a nice unexpected pat on the back or
Yeah.
just token of appreciation or something, you're like, yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think me and you are the same, that we don't go out bragging about what we do. We just go out, we get up day to day and do what we do day to day. We could care less. We're being ourselves. But a lot of people
Mhm.
say, no, you're doing more, but you don't see it. You just see yourself being yourself, going out doing things, helping people, and just doing things that you do. But people out there
Mm-mm.
would notice what
You
you're
know,
doing and put it out
my
there.
honey,
What's that?
well, I do feel like I said, like my honey, he has a saying, and he says, "I do the right thing when no one's looking." You know what I mean? And that's the thing. If you're only doing something for notoriety, for visibility, for whatever, then you're not doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. I don't knock people that post the great things that they do all the time. Sometimes you just want to share. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
However, I am leery of the people who are always posting what they do, always posting the things that they do. Like, wow, you need that much validation. So are you doing it for yourself, or are you doing it for validation? Are you doing it to help, or are you doing it for validation? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a slippery slope for me. I could, you know, definitely go down that rabbit hole, but I'm not.
Yeah, me too. But I'm gonna leave it alone. Speaking about going down a rabbit hole, um, I was talking mad noise about you this weekend because I always do. Talking about your
All right.
third
I hope it
annual.
was the good stuff.
Oh yeah, I was talking about your third annual brain
Uh-huh. Yeah.
fair coming up,
Yeah.
and I was
Yeah.
telling them what it was all about. And somebody asked me how much it costs. I said I got the favorite four-letter word for you: free.
Free. I need to get you some. I have a few flyers left. I gotta get some out there too.
Yeah.
That's right. It's for the free 99. That's right. Giving
Mm-hmm.
you what I can give you and the best that I can give you for the what? Free 99.
Look, I like that spot you just did. But but that's what it's all about, because the thing that you're doing out there in the public, like I was just talking about, I brag about you on things that you're doing because number one, you don't have to do it, but you doing it. and you're doing it from your heart to help people out. And let me tell you something about Coach K. She scrutinized her panel. She want experts on there, so when they
I was
come up
just,
and say
I
what?
was actually right before I jumped on here. I was thinking, because I'm like, okay, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, got this right, and I was thinking to myself, you know what? I some of course, I'm recruiting not only for the brain health fair, but the Get Fit Wellness Fair that's going to be on January the 31st. So you gotta keep things in motion. Plus, I'm also recruiting for something else that I have going on. I'll keep that under wraps right now. But I am, so as I'm looking, I'm like, I want an expert in this. I want an expert in that. And
Mm-hmm.
as I'm thinking about what my people have been talking about, what I've heard people talking about, what I see going on around me. So I'm looking for, so when y'all see me post, hey, looking for XYZ, because I'm going to go to my Rolodex. But if y'all see me post, y'all better respond because I am trying to get the people for out here for the people. I'm gonna work on I'm gonna work on something. I haven't figured it out yet, so taking ideas um, for how people can submit their questions beforehand. So
Yes.
that way, because I always have my questions that I start off with, but they're my questions, and there are things that have been said that I've collected, from people. So I want to really make sure that I get people's questions like what resource are you looking for.
Mm-hmm.
I do have oh man, I can't, I believe for mental, no, suicide prevention should be on that national mental health alliance should be there. So I'm working on getting. I do have a couple of therapists that have openings that will be on the panel as well. Some will be as far as vendors, and so you can talk to them, one on one. I'm trying, man. Like, come on.
Yeah. We know you are.
I'm
You.
trying.
We
But
know.
you're right. I do. I do. I do scrutinize. I look in. I pay attention. To see. Who was definitely um, um, an asset. To each panel. So sometimes when you see the same faces, that's because they are constantly just an asset to the program.
Yeah.
To the event.
And that's good because Coach K mean well. I remember when we first met. You came in as a firecracker and you have not changed. Coach K got one speed, just one speed.
No,
She,
I got two.
okay, well, what was the other one? It's nothing slow, is it?
Slow. Oh, it's slow. Like
Oh,
it's. But you know what I like, and obviously I'm doing something right. Um, most people don't see my slow. Most people don't see my low. You know what I mean? When
mm-hmm.
I'm not in a good mood, and please know, folks, it's frequent. I am perimenopausal. It's not even that I'm not in a good mood. It's just I'm not in the mood. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm in that way, majority of people don't even see me. I'm not, and not a dig to y'all who do this out there, but I'm not a put my business on Facebook type of person. So no, you won't know I'm not in the mood today. You won't whatever, whatever. And you may not know. If I talk to you, you may not know that I'm not in the mood. And the thing is, 9 times out of 10, I'ma try and be incognito
Yes.
anyway. I had to think about it. I say that word differently. But I I really do try to work on myself, not because I don't be in a bad sulking mood. It ain't like I don't be over there, woo, it's me. No, no, no. It's just that I know that maybe I need to refill my tank. So I, bring it in and, work on, that may be when I'm listening to my audio books or, my podcast or just being quiet, just working on my stuff, maybe, exercising, whatever it is, it's my time though, and I just
Yeah.
keep that as my time. And so that way, when I show up the best version of Coach K that you can say. I tried to make that rhyme. You see how that works?
Yeah, yeah, you on it.
Look, Ron. I went to my homegirl's birthday party the other day. I took my karaoke mic. That's
Mm.
right. I brought the party. Sure did. You know it.
I can see you right now. I can see it right now.
I sure did. I sure did. But look, before we get out of here, I got to at least got to talk about what I want to talk about.
That's right.
So, Brian, did you see my post about the best Veggie Monday?
Yes, I sure did.
All right. So
Now,
look,
wait,
y'all.
before you get started, it's hard for me to find asparagus.
Yeah,
I've
right
been
now.
looking for it's been hard. I find broccoli, the bell peppers, and all that, but asparagus it seems like it's they don't
Mm-hmm.
want me, and I like throw them out on the grill, and I can't find it anywhere.
I really haven't seen them. I know when I've gone to HEB, I've seen them. Like they only have the organic ones or so that I see, and that's just pretty much it. Give it some time; they should, be coming out. But this is um fall, like so in the fall, that's kind of more of your squash and Brussels sprout, and they, corn, even though corn isn't necessarily a vegetable, but I'm gonna talk about that. But that's the time that you really see it. You're not gonna. It hasn't been a lot of asparagus as well. I've seen it. I've been looking for them too. It's one
Yeah,
of my. I like quick stuff. So like I said, I feel like a lot of my quick options have not been options right now. I don't know what's happening. It's kind of making me angry. But anyways, so on Monday, not on Monday. It wasn't Monday. It was last week. Uh, I, for the past, honestly, I want to say 5, 6 years now, have been doing a veggie challenge in September and October, right? So I've been doing this for 5, 6 years. On a regular basis, I have a minimum of 3 servings of vegetables a day. Regular basis, right? I noticed last week, and it seemed like it's a resounding thing. I don't know if it's the time of the year. I'm not sure what it is. But, excuse me, I seem to eat less vegetables during the veggie challenge.
what?
This past one, I noticed it. I noticed it. I said, huh, it's veggie challenge. And it has been a challenge for you to get in these veggies. So called myself out. I said, damn. Okay, we got to do something about this. I said, because I recognize there's a problem. Obviously, I'm letting, and this is a busy time of the year for me. And that's what it is. As I said, you just heard me say, I'm playing in the Brain Health Fair, the Get Fit Wellness Fair. In between this, you got life. I got, 2 other things going on in between there. Plus, just trying to keep life together. you know. So it's a busy time of the year for me. And obviously, I must every time get thrown off. So I called myself out. I was like, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. You are not eating enough vegetables. And that's unacceptable, right? Especially, you know what time of year this is. Flu season, cold and flu season.
Mm-hmm.
No, 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 because I am making it a point to avoid sharing stuff with people, and so I'm making it a point. I really do try and protect, because when I got sick a couple of years ago on Thanksgiving and Christmas, I was
Oh.
sick on Thanksgiving and Christmas that year. I said, "Oh, I'm doing something wrong." So, yeah. And you know what? You know what it was? My diet. I had wasn't eating my 3 servings of vegetables like I usually do. I just said I was around more people and things and so forth. So I said, I recognized that it was happening, so I'm gonna fix it. So I decided to be hardcore, son. And you know how people have meatless Mondays, right? I said, okay, I'm gonna do Veggie Monday, all vegetables. Let me tell you something, Ron. I like meat. I like seafood. I like pork chops. I like bacon. I like I like a steak. I like lamb. So um I would have to say it's a commitment for me. It's something that I feel like I need to do in order to reset my system and make sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, because by intentionally and this is a truth, this and because I know myself, by intentionally eating vegetables all day on Monday, Tuesday, I mean, I forgot to take pictures. I mean, I guess obviously I was just greedy or hungry or something. I don't know. But I began my day. I had cauliflower casserole, but this time I put bacon bits on it. Yes, I did. Um, yeah, on Monday I didn't have bacon bits on it. you know. So, but I had cauliflower, like I said, I had some asparagus as a snack, and then I had green beans for dinner. Where I was intentionally like, okay, I need to make sure that because I had all day on Monday was choosing vegetables, choosing vegetables, choosing vegetables. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it put it in my, it made it okay. We're building this habit of always looking for a vegetable, always looking for a vegetable. We're going to stack up on these vegetables. So I am, like you said, today, have I had none? No, not yet, but I know I will, because one, I have some available. A part of it is having it available. On Monday, I started not to do it because I said, well, I don't have everything. I don't have everything that I need. I don't have everything that prepared that I need. I felt like I needed to make it happen. However, I don't like excuses. And you cannot accept excuses from yourself either. So what did I do? Started off with what I had. I had the foresight to enough to know I want to try and do this veggie thing on Monday. So when I made my cauliflower casserole that I like, I did not put the bacon bits in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I knew that. But also, let me talk about that. Talk about that. Like you said, I did choose to eat vegetables all day. However, I am still allowing myself eggs and whichever, if you're into almonds or whatever, me is pecans and oh, I'm sorry, Pops told me, he said, you're in the South now, girl. Pecans. So but
True.
so pecans and pistachios are my if I'm gonna have something like that, of choice. And just been honest, I've been on these like harvest crisps. They're like lentils and like green beans type. I tried to give some to Tammy. She talking about, I told you about trying to get me these healthy snacks. But anyway, told
Oh.
her, I said, that's my job. That's what I'm here for, is to introduce you to better options. But
Hmm.
anyways, so I did, like you said, so on Monday when I had my cauliflower casserole, because I'm allowing these things. I'm allowing these eggs and these, like you said, these different nuts in there and so forth, because I want to make sure that I get protein, right? Gotta make sure. So keep in mind, if you're only, because I'm not doing, now I do allow a sweet potato, but you shouldn't do that every
Hmm.
week, guys. You shouldn't do it every week. However, I am, because potato is technically a vegetable, right? It's a root. So I do allow it for a sweet potato, but I made sure that I am, well, I'm putting protein where I could fit it in. So I was conscious not to put the bacon bits into the casserole. However, when I make it, now, because I have become, like you said, and that's probably why I got off on my vegetables. I've really been focusing on having more protein in my diet. So I use Greek yogurt now instead. I used to use low fat sour cream, but now I use Greek yogurt in my cauliflower casserole. So that gives me what? More protein, right? So by doing that, I made sure that I had my protein in, like you said, in the mix there. I had boiled eggs for a snack. I had corn on the cob, guys. Again, two things I usually don't really say when I ask that you have a vegetable. If you tell me you've had one of these things by themselves or so forth, whatever, I'm usually rolling my eyes.
Mm.
However, I had a sweet baked potato and corn on the cob and what did I have? Cucumber salad. Cucumber salad. And the cucumber salad, I'm not gonna lie, I did add I had some feta cheese, and I added the feta cheese or so forth also for protein, right? So there you have it. I don't think I ate any, pecans or anything that day, but I did, make sure, like I said, that I tried to include protein in my diet still while only eating vegetables.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do that every Monday, because if I'm choosing to eat vegetables every day, I mean, every week, one day a week, all day long, you can't tell me that's not going to roll over into other areas. And
Right.
I'm also going to say this. Now I think about it. So one of the reasons is several reasons, and I'm gonna go over some of the reasons why just having vegetables, like you said, trying to just do a reset if you can, one day out the week, the benefits of it. However, one of the benefits is less inflammation. So reducing the amount of inflammation that's in your body, because when I woke up on Tuesday morning, I was bending down and doing something, and let me tell you something. I'm not bending until probably late in the morning on Tuesday
Yeah.
or any day. Okay, you know what I'm saying? I am easing into this. I'm not just jumping into it. I'm easing into it. So I noticed that. I noticed right away that I did have less inflammation and I was moving easier. But just to throw some of those other reasons that and don't get me wrong, guys. I'm not saying you shouldn't eat fruit. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that by purposely eating vegetables, I mean, like you said, your digestive system, your stomach is the central nervous system for everything. So if you can control your diet, you can control everything. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that's just what it is. Now, when it comes to a veggie only diet or a heavy veggie diet, because it doesn't have to be only, but a heavy veggie diet, we already know the more popular
Mm-hmm.
reasons, right? Your cardiovascular, issues, lowering the blood pressure, reduction of disease and stroke, right? And then they've also, talked about, of course, just prevention of some forms of cancer,
Right.
as far as, getting in things, right? However, like you said, it does help we know your digestive system because why we need that fiber, right? we gotta get we gotta get those things in there to help move things along. You need to drink this high quality H2O, and you also need to eat the vegetables there, my friends. You gotta gotta keep it moving. So you know so that is, like you said, one of the things I mentioned, the reduction of inflammation in your body, by eating, taking, and like I said, that was just one day that I took, and said I'm going to do this. And I mean, like you said, a reduction of inflammation in your body, again, just by eating regularly, the way you're supposed to, meaning with your vegetables, with your fruits, with your non-fried foods and all that processed foods and things, eliminating or not eliminating or limiting those things in your diet. That just promotes healthy aging. As we go along, like you said, because by also putting these vegetables in your diet on a regular basis, it helps even. I don't know about y'all, but I was just saying that I need some new glasses because maybe if I had, I'm just saying, maybe because I have been slacking on my vegetables, why my eyes seem to be not that great right now. I feel like I honestly do, but eating vegetables on a regular basis, it does help your eye health.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. Who don't need to see? I'm just saying.
I need to see everything. Hey, you ready for a question?
Yes.
All right. Somebody just wrote in and said, "Start eating veggies. How long will it take for you to feel the effects?"
Did you hear me when I say I woke up the next day and I had less inflammation in my body? I mean, so just being honest, like you said, that was just something that, I happened to notice. I also noticed that again, I was less bloated because, it's my time. So, I was bloated, just naturally from it being that time of the month and so forth. But when I woke up yesterday, I was less bloated. I wasn't, as bloated as I normally would be. Um, if you personally If you give yourself, I would try a month. That's 4 Mondays, right? On a regular, right? Give yourself 4 Mondays of veggies all day. Again, don't forget. Now, I also want to say I made sure that I took my omegas. I take my omega 3s. So I personally recommend that you make sure that you get at least your omegas and maybe some source of other source of protein, because I'm not doing grains. It's no grains. It's not none of that. It is cheese. It was because, like I said, I did throw in cheese for protein in the bush club, but otherwise, that's not what it is. So, give yourself 4 Mondays and 4 Mondays of veggies all day long, because I'm telling you, it's going to carry over. It's going to carry over. They
Hmm.
say it takes 28 days to build a habit. So look
Yeah.
at yourself in 28 days. Take and consciously make that Monday change. That Monday, I'm going to do this. It's going to carry over during the week. It may get a little weary. You may come the weekend and like, oh man, I didn't, you know what I'm saying? I only had one vegetable today. However, maybe some weekends you don't have any. So just by having that one is better than none, because the habit is coming. Because on Monday you're reset. That's your reset. And when you know how good that you feel after that, you're going to be pretty weird. I'm not going to say weary. You're going to be pretty critical of the food that you put into the mix.
Yeah.
It's just like when you do a fast, right? I personally, I'm a eat, so fasting isn't for me. I fast at night when I sleep. Okay, so just saying.
Yeah.
But just saying. However, when you fast, you don't just go throwing the crap right back in the mix, right? When you fast, you're supposed to, well, hopefully you do. And if y'all feel bad after, that's because you're doing it wrong. uh, After you fast, that's when you're supposed to first start introducing, the fruits and veggies back into your system, and then maybe, do some fish,
Yeah.
and then, go into your chicken and your turkey before you go hardcore into, you know, really meat like beef and so forth. You know what I'm saying? So you're supposed to gradually work the food back into your system. However, you're supposed to stay within your stomach limits, your appetite limits.
Hmm.
However, because we're programmed to, this is the size that we're eating,
Right.
even when you see it and you start eating, knowing your stomach will not handle it, you stretch it out again. Now you're back at where you started. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, that's not necessarily my jam. This, to me, is a more practical way to reset your eating habits, your digestive system, and just to help start improving your overall health.
Right.
Veggie Mondays. Join me. Like I said, this is nothing. This is not some of a golden prize or something or whatever. This is just something that I'm doing and that I'm sharing for accountability.
There
That's
you
it.
go. There you go. And you know what I'm gonna
That's
do?
it.
After the show, I'm on a hunt to find some asparagus because I'm gonna fire that grill up. If that's the only thing I eat today, that's what I'm gonna do. Speak about eating stuff. Now, I know my wife is probably listening. I already got in trouble already, so don't make a difference. I'll get in more trouble. Um, for years I've been making my chili with turkey,
Yeah, me too.
and turkey sausage and stuff. And she told
Me
me,
too.
she said, I don't like that. Well, you've been eating it for the past 3 years. And so now the cat's out of the bag. I wonder if she's gonna eat it because I'm gonna put it on the pot today because it's supposed to be cold in the morning.
Yeah,
And,
I'm
and
gonna make some too.
yeah, and I told everybody this is time to put on some greens or some beef stew and some chili. And I got people tell me online, I'm coming over your house.
Nah.
But
Well, you know what? Um, um, the beef stew.
mm,
So what it made me think about just uh prepping in general, right? So as it, I don't know if anyone's caught when I do be pretty busy. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
And I really, if I can, try not to eat out. Yesterday, let me tell you, yesterday, because I said, I had things to do, I need to start my hair, I had to do these things. I said, you know what? I had a coupon because
yeah,
I don't
coupon.
do certain things. I don't. I If I'm gonna spend money, I really try and at least be smart with it, right? And so I don't do delivery on two nothing really. I'm not, I just don't. I don't shop online. I would go to the store type person. If I go out to eat, I go out to eat. I don't go and get it to come home. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
However, yesterday I didn't. True story. Didn't feel like cooking. I had so many other things to do, so I DoorDash. I had a coupon, so I DoorDash, and I was reminded why I don't DoorDash. They forgot one of my sides. I wanted some tortilla soup for today, and there's no damn soup. Excuse me, but what the French toast man. So I'm like, this is why I don't do these things. However, the moral of the story was, if you heard me say I wanted the tortilla soup for today, I really do try and think ahead.
Hmm.
Y'all get in trouble because you don't think about what you're going to eat until it's time to do it. You know what I'm saying? You said, this is the time to put on this, put on that, put it. You know, if you know, like I knew, I looked at the weather, which I don't always do, but I looked at the weather and I saw that it was going to get cold. So I said, all right, like you. I said, oh, I think I'll make some chili. I'm gonna take, so I use, turkey as well, turkey sausage and turkey, ground turkey, but I'm gonna take the other half and make some taco meat for, some salads or something, or,
Yeah.
I'm not a flour or nothing. I like hard taco if I'm gonna eat it at home. If I have a soft taco, it's out in the streets. It's not gonna really be here. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I already planned for that. You know what I'm saying? However, I like what I had planned to eat I had my friend, she came over, so I ate that with her. So I didn't have anything for the entry. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And then I had to rush home, let the dog out. Just didn't have time to stop. I just didn't have time to stop. So that's why I did that. But even then, I was trying to think ahead, and you see how they messed me up in the game. But it's all right. That's all right. Not a problem. Not a problem. One monkey won't stop no show, right? But I do want to emphasize the fact that even though I had made a choice to eat out in the streets at home, I I think I'm not even going to get on my soapbox about that, because if this is what people are doing on a regular basis, shame on you. You just a lazy some or something if this is what you doing. But anyway, because I was like, who, what? And it was it's a whole again. I'm not going to get into it because I was like, who do I talk to about my goddamn suit? And I couldn't figure it out. The store said it wasn't their fault. How was it not your fault? But anyway, no problem.
That driver ate your suit.
Well, he better give me my tip back because I gave him cash on purpose. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
But anyways, moral of the story, folks. Moral of the story. It may take you an hour to, you know, prep your food, you know what I'm saying, for a
Yeah.
couple of days, for a couple of meals. It may take you, 30 minutes or so forth to go to the grocery store, or maybe 5 minutes to write out a list. 30 minutes to go to the grocery store, you know what I'm saying? An
Mm-hmm.
hour to cook it, to prepare it. However, add that up and then, that's less than 2 hours. But that less than 2 hours is going to save you three times that amount.
Yes.
It's going to save you, hands down.
Mm-hmm.
When you, like I said, Coach K was not prepared to go into Veggie Monday. I wasn't. However, I was prepared enough because I had already prepped something and knew. I'm funny. I don't eat anything. So I made a green beans is my jam. It's the safe vegetable for me, and not even because if I come over there, if it's like you know canned, not eating it, French, not eating it,
Mm-hmm.
And so I got things. I got things. I like whole green beans. Like that's just it, right? But I made enough to have because I knew I was doing Veggie Monday. And
Yeah.
I knew if push come to shove, I will eat green beans. You know what I'm saying? The reason that I made the food choices that I made. So please, like I said, if you're going to do it, please do join in on Monday. Like I said, share your recipes or whatever, because I what I already know something that I plan to prepare so that at least on Monday I can have it because it is something that will hold me. I
Yeah.
had the baked potato, and that's why I said I wasn't prepared. But like I said, all it took for me was to run to the store. But I was prepared enough to start.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I'm saying? So I had my casserole and my green beans. I had them ready. I came back while I was making my baked potato and so forth. I had eggs. I boiled my eggs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I made the potato. So I had, like I said, run that meal back. I had a sweet baked potato, a piece of corn on the cob, and cucumber salad. So, and my cucumber salad, I had of course the cucumbers, carrots and red onion,
Mm-hmm.
and I used Greek dressing to
Yeah.
whatever. So but I had the potato and the corn because they are starchy, because they are filling. Feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So make sure that when you're choosing your vegetables for that day, your choices are something that is definitely going to still make you feel like you are satisfied. Corn on the cob for me is a treat. I love corn on the cob. It's not a vegetable to me. I don't think of it is so not a vegetable. You know, it is so
Yeah.
not a vegetable. But I love corn on the cob. So when I'm doing Veggie Mondays, throwing corn on the cob in there is like that. Because I had a piece of corn on the cob as a snack. So I'm just saying, put some thought into it.
Yeah.
That time, that like I said, less. the 2 hours or so forth that it takes for you to plan, shop, and prepare is going to save you a few hours, several hours in your week. And it's also, like you said, if you take the time and just put some more vegetables in your diet, that one is going to carry you just overall health wise. And that's where we need to be. Healthy aging. Aging. You wanna get old. I began this series behind a friend that passed. I'm 45. I believe he was 46. I Healthy aging, guys. That's what we need. So join Coach K with Veggie Mondays. Hold me accountable, even if you're not doing. You can ask me what I had. I'll tell you.
They can ask me too because I eat veggie. You know what? A friend of mine one time, I was talking to them how I missed the some good greens and hot water cornbread. So, and I left it alone. About 3 weeks later, they lured me over the house. Hey, I
Mm-hmm.
need you to come over and look at this, look at it. I said, nah, I'm not doing that anymore. No, just come. So I went over there. Soon as I got in the door, I smelt those greens. And she said, Ron, here you go. I got you greens, hot water cornbread, and your hot sauce. I was greedy. I ate 2 helpings. But it's things like that that people say, so you just ate all veggie stuff? I said, yeah. I said, I don't like that meat all the time. That's See, when we were growing up, we had the greens all the time and hot water cornbread. Anybody know about growing up on hard time? That's what we had. That was our staple. Every Sunday we had that, and I look forward to that. And so
Mm.
when I sat down there, I said, I don't know if I want to get up and drive home or look at that sofa over there, but I'm not gonna lay down because that's the worst thing I could do.
Right.
So
Right.
I got up, went home, and guess when I got home, what I did?
Went to sleep.
I did the yard.
Oh, good job.
I did the yard. I felt so
Good
good. I
job.
did the yard. And so
Good
so
job.
I didn't go to sleep because I know better, especially my age. I can't be doing that,
Right.
but that's what I
Right.
did, and it felt good to do that.
Right.
Just out the
Right.
wild blue, just sit up there, just. But I told
You
it.
know, I like that. Like you said that you went and you did the art because with that greens, the cornbread, like you said, the starch, that was good fuel, right? Good fuel for energy to
Mm,
give you to do the art. One of my clients this morning, I told her, she said, I like my croissant in the morning. And I was like, okay. But every day, and then don't you guys sit down, y'all? She said, well, I move around, during the day. I'm like, well, I'm pretty sure you're not moving around, enough for every day you having a goddamn on croissant. I'm like, you're not starting, and not that I'm pretty sure, I mean, I don't know what it looks like or whatever, but the moral of the story is, what benefit is it giving you?
yeah,
It'd be different if you said, well, you know what, I have a croissant, and then I go and power walk for an hour,
yeah.
do the yard. I get up and do yard work. You know what I'm saying? If
Hmm.
that's what you're having, and that's where we need to remember the purpose of food is fuel. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Because, like you said, even with me and this Veggie Monday, if you're thinking of it correctly, what you should hear is, I'm choosing to give myself premium fuel on Mondays only.
Yeah. I just somebody just put down said, I plan my meals for a few days at least. Then she turned around and said, I need to move more.
Yeah, dang. And but the thing is, half of the battle is done. So
Yeah.
if you already have planned out your meals, you know what you're doing for a couple of days, take it a step further and say, all right, well, since I don't have to come home and cook, or I don't have to, whatever meals that you've already prepared, I can take that time and go walk
Mm-hmm.
or go and have a dance party in the living room. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is,
Yeah.
but it doesn't. Remember, if you need to move more, it don't have to be some elaborate plan. It can be as simple as, like I said, a little dance party, and and the house. Seriously,
Yeah.
going and saying, well, I'm going to, instead of, when I do my housework, I usually, have the TV on, and I go, I come back, I sit down, and this and that. I'm not going to have the TV on. I'm gonna turn the music on, and I'm gonna
There
I'm
you
gonna go
go.
for an hour straight. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to nothing. I said that I was going to do that and just see how many calories that I burn. You know what I mean? Just one.
Hmm.
It would have to be some other things. Cause I do have the house, and I can't do her job. She she can do her, but I can do some of the things that I don't have her do. But yeah, I said that I was going to do that. Turn my watch on, and for a full
Yes.
hour, maybe I'll do that because I want to steam mop today. So, maybe, what I'm saying, just to see how many calories do I actually burn by, just moving for an hour, intentionally just cleaning. How much?
You just said it because once a week I call myself domesticated. The reason why I say that is I'll turn around, I'll wash clothes, I'll mop the floor, sweep, do the ceiling fans, do all that. So when my wife come home and say, I ain't got to do no work this weekend. You need to move too, woman. But I get up and I do that, and that keeps me balanced and doing what I'm doing. Or like, this is one thing that she has not got over. Sometimes I get up 4 o'clock in the morning and I'm baking oatmeal raisin cookies. She said, well, what? She tell my husband got up at 4 o'clock this morning baking cookies. Who does that?
You.
Me.
Well, I like oatmeal raisin cookies. You've mentioned this to me before,
Uh,
and you can put at least 2 or 3 of them with my
I,
name on.
I will make sure next time I'll do that.
I do. I love. Yeah,
I will
yeah.
even hand deliver them to you with a glass of milk.
I don't like milk, but
Okay,
okay.
okay, with a
You know what
margarita,
though?
with a
And
margarita.
that's what saves me though.
Mm,
A lot of things I don't particularly care for, and then because I like it, and it's it's like pretty just me for the most part. I don't buy them. I don't make it. I don't do a lot of things. You know what I mean? Saving grace,
yeah,
saving grace, saving grace.
that,
That's
that's
saving grace.
that's my girl Sharon A. Who mentioned about getting up, moving around. She also did mention this right here. It's sort of interesting. I did notice a difference in my body since I stopped eating my daily salads at lunch.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Start
When
eating.
that and it's funny. One of my clients, she said that as well. So the thing about the different types of vegetables, which I think I touched on, but I didn't say so. I said that I ate the potato and the corn because it was starchy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Starchy. You do need to make sure that you eat your say leafy greens
Yeah.
or less starchy vegetables, okay, for your to help with mm, to help the waistline. Like the best, like you said, like butternut squash and sweet potato and what else is starchy? It's stuff I don't eat though. But I don't. But I don't. But but those things are heavier, right? Carrots and stuff. But then, you have like you said, your greens, so kale and spinach and your lettuce for your salads and Brussels sprouts and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those are things that definitely are lighter on the glycemic index, which means less sugar and it's easier to digest, right? So definitely see a difference. If you were eating a salad a day, you definitely would see a difference if you stopped.
Now
Definitely.
I'm gonna message you on this one. Me and Brussels sprouts don't get along. It can be fried, dyed, laid to the side. It's just something about that taste I cannot handle.
I mean, I get it. It's not for everybody.
Yeah.
The first time I ever had them, they were frozen. Hard pass. Okay, hard pass. Did not eat Brussels sprouts again until I can't tell you when, but let me tell you, they had to be fried, laid to the side. Okay, so I had I could, and of course, you know how they gonna get me. They put the bacon in it, honey. So I had it, and I said, "Oh shucks, it's not bad," you know.
Mm,
So then my daughter, she, like I said, you know, she started cooking, and she used to do my meal prep for a while because she's into all that, you know.
yeah.
I'm one of the people. I saw something that said, I'm one of the. Some people are made to cook. Some people are made to hold conversation while the other person cooks. That's
Yeah.
me. So you know, that's what I like to do. And she began to make Brussels sprouts. Um, and that's when I was like, okay, you know, just not, you know, and she didn't dime to, you know, all that other stuff, but she, you know, she did, you know, just kind of start introducing them into, you know, our diet. And
Hmm.
I mean, depending on how you season them, Ron, I'm just saying, you
Yeah.
know, honey, man, he loves. He's like, man, he was like, nobody made Brussels sprouts like you. I'm like, he could just be telling me that, but I think I make them pretty good.
I, I got somebody just said, mess with me. You gotta try Brussels sprouts at is that Gather's Brewery. Chase it with a bit.
Gathers,
Gather.
oh,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
So.
Um, I'm just saying they probably got bacon and stuff in them, which is that yeah, that
Yeah,
makes them yeah.
I don't know about my people messing with me on, on this show, but they be messing with a brother. But that's all right.
Man, let me. It's this pizza spot over there on the east side. I love, man. I ain't been over there in a while, but I like going over there. Their pizza is good, but they have this Brussels sprout appetizer. The freaking licious. You hear me? Oh yeah. Oh
Okay.
yeah, I do love them. I like them at BJ's too. BJ's, I think, have them. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, delicioso.
Well, I will seriously not think about it.
I feel that.
I mean,
I, I feel that.
I could probably try it
Look, I'm
again.
not trying to convince you.
Yeah, but I got a funny feeling I'm gonna be getting hit hard from my listeners 'cause they're already hammering me right now. You need to try it. You never
I mean,
tried it, huh?
but you're right. Maybe trying it again. Remember, I told you when I first tried them, they were terrible. I didn't eat them. Mm-mm.
Well,
So I get it.
when we were growing up, Brussels sprouts seems to always be on the veggie deal with dinner. Oh, I couldn't say no things. Ugh. But anyway, that's another story. Before we
I was
close,
about to say, I see. I took you back to a place.
yeah, you took me back to way back to the place. All right, before we get out of there, please fill us in about your third annual Brain Health Fair coming up.
All right. If you are in the San Antonio area, please do come and give a piece of your mind. Get it? We are talking about all mental health. It is on November the 15th at the Moad Center, 302 East Ramsey Road in San Antonio from 10 to 2 p.m. We are talking all things mental health. Again, my goal is to bring you information and resources. It's a free event. Register so you can have a bag with your name on it. I mean that. Like I
Yeah.
said, now somebody don't show up and they you happen to get theirs, okay, but I'm telling you, it's gonna be what your name on it.
Yeah.
But like I said, you can register on the website wannagofit.com.
And also, I did a commercial, and I shared it with Coach K to get her approval. She said, "Commercial is good. It's a little sexy."
Yeah, right. It was like, calm down. You are bringing house. I was like, okay.
And I played it back. I thought it sounded good. I never used that word that she used, sexy. I just put it together. I said, "Hey, this sounds good."
It
Right.
sounded like you was up there talking about, hey, this is DJ Ron G. And you're on the late night spot with that's what it sounds like.
Woo!
I'm just saying.
I miss my call. I need to do more like that. And I do have a show.
Hey, that,
And I do have a
look,
show at midnight to 3 p.m. called The Quiet Storm. I need to play that commercial during then.
hey, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Look, you may want to look in this economy. You may want to try and find you some other ways to make some income. Get that sexy voice paying off.
Oh boy. See, Coach K gonna get me in trouble. But that's all right. I stay in trouble. It doesn't make me no difference.
I was about to say,
Yeah.
when you look at me, I tell you, you see trouble.
All right, young lady. You take care, and we'll see you again somewhere down the line. Because some of the events that I'm at, Coach K show up too. So, and that's
You
a
know,
blessing. She comes out.
I've been, look, I've been bouncing around. Last weekend, I was up there busting heads on some spades.
Oh. And talking trash too, right?
You know it. Oh, you know it. We was bouncing them off the table, baby.
Ooh. Tennessee
Come on,
Toddy,
man.
and
Look.
nobody.
Just saying. I'm
Yeah.
just saying. You all is calling. Get up.
I'm done with you. All right, young lady, you take care until next week. No, every other week. We'll see
Every
you.
other week.
We'll see you then. All right, take care,
Yes,
Coach.
sir. Bye, guys.
Okay.
Recording stopped.
All right, everybody. That was our famous Coach K here on WSAN Radio. We appreciate her being on all the time, and she just one of those people that you could just mess with all the time. That's what I do on a daily living. But anyway, peace and chicken grease. I'll catch everybody bright and early tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. for Throwback Thursday. And if you want some music to clean up, to lose some of that weight, send me a list of music you want to hear, and I will play it for you. All right. Once again, DJ Ron G, WSAN Radio. Peace and chicken grease.